Diko Graphics skills with creativity.
Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified when we post new videos.
Yeah, good evening, guys. Welcome back to Diko Graphics Design Training. I believe we all enjoying our weekend. I brought to you this evening a new tricks on PixelLab. I want to show you how you can make edit a triangle pop-up effect. This is a new design. So I discovered this particular design was done on the Photoshop. So I've been trying it couples of hours to see how we can have achieved this using our PixelLab. And with good news, I know you can't wait to watch this and see the tricks. So without much talk, let's get started. This is my PixelLab. As you can see, there's not any magic in it. So what I'm going to do is to look at the size. I'm fitting with the size. This is a custom size, 130 by 130 square size. So after that, I want to go there by selecting a new background which I want to use. So sorry, what's our business document? So I'm bringing in this particular background. So I will select the frame that will make it a fitting. As you can see, this is cool. So the next thing I'm going to do is to select the triangle. So having a triangle like this, so I will just split it out a little bit. Then it will be like this. So after that, I will position it to the center very well. Then I will go to my texture. So I won't waste much time. Get into the texture, I will go to my paint. So paint interest, that is where I got this picture anyway. So I will have this. Then at the top, so I will crop it a little bit or leave it, then crop it like this. Then I will scale it to 140. So let's scale it to 140, just as this. I believe it's cool like this, or 145. So I think it's 160 is okay. So as it is, the next thing we're going to do is to just go back. I've removed the background of this particular image. So I'm going to where it is to bring it in. That is the logic behind it. So I want it to be, so this is the image as you can see. So I have to position it so that the leg will come out. So it will look like a edit. This was done on Photoshop anyway. So I want us to, so what you need to do is you just be calculative, and you have to do it in such a way that there won't be any traces. You understand? So you need to take your time and measure perfectly. So if possible, how you can quickly achieve this, you can tap on the zoom and zoom out. So when you zoom out, you should be able to see clearly. Then you can see the error. See the error. So if you can zoom out and you adjust the error, believe me, there won't be any problem at the end of the day. Okay, back. So now let's adjust it. Adjust. Back. Perfect. So now you can bring it in and let's see. Then you can see the work, right? Very cool. You can see it. So but when we look at the leg, you can see that the leg is somehow come out. And what can we do? If we say we should merge it like that, there's probability that part of it will cut out. So what we can do is to merge it together here. Merge it and move it up a little bit. So we're going to move it up a little bit. So we have something like this. So now that we can move it like this,
don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon.
As this. So after merging it, you can now reduce the size. You can reduce the size. But there is one mistake that we make. Before we do that, one thing that we need to do is to just back so that we detach it. After detaching, the next thing we're going to do is to just apply stroke first. That will be the first thing. Let's apply the stroke with white. Then you can see. So we're going to apply the stroke. So after applying the stroke, there is a way we will do it that will make everything okay. So after applying the stroke, you see it's okay like this. I think 14 or 13 is okay. So what we're going to do next is to go back to, okay, what we are going to do is this. We deleted this and we copy. After copy, we are going to remove the stroke, so, and color it. After removing it, we are going to color it. So after color, you can see that we have the same size. So we will now increase this a little bit to where we want the stroke to form. Then you can see, right? So after that, we can now position it to the center and send it to the back. So now that we send it to the back, you can see the the three shape is actually displayed. Now we have everything at the at our hand. So now we merge the two, we merge the three together. So after merging it, we can now reposition using a centralize. Then everything is actually plumb right like this. So the next thing I want us to do is to just make it big a little bit and position it like this. So now everything is actually cool, as you can see. So the next thing we're going to do is to just applying the shadow. But there's one mistake that we still made, because the shadow will still be applying to the leg, which shouldn't be. But let's see how the thing will work first. So, or better still, we should just make sure before we merge it that everything is that. Let's detach it. Let's detach it. So after detaching it, we merge these two together first. So after merging it, then the next thing we're going to do is to just send this to the front again. Then we're going to lock this, tap on this, so that we apply the shadow, we make it work very well. So we increase the shadow, increase it. I mean, not the blur radius, the XY should be increased to something like 5 or 6. Then we'll go to where the shadow is, click the plus sign, and you reduce it so that it will not be too dark. So we can still bring it in just to make sure that everything show. So the offset X should be added as well. Then we'll look at the shadow, if we, I mean the blur radius, if we should minus it. Then when you look at it, everything is actually cool. So the next thing, another trick that we want to do, we will use is this. We are going to copy this. You can see, right? So after copy it, the next thing we are going to do is to just increase the blur radius like this, increase the offset, then increase the Y, then you are going to make it a dark, or reduce the stroke a bit. So now we are going to position this here. You understand? You see what I will do now? So now position it to the center, just like this. After position to the center, send it to the back. Okay, after sending it to the back, you make sure that everything
Don't
is
forget to
actually
hit the
right.
subscribe button and the bell
Okay,
icon.
perfect. So when you look at it, it's already we already achieved what we want. So after that, after we send it to the back, we will remove the shadow from here. Good. So it will be only the shadow at the back. Perfect. So now we can merge the three together. So we'll merge it together, and we might decided not to merge it. You understand? Because as I do say, the more you merge on PixelLab unnecessarily, the more you are losing quality. So now we have this. So what we're going to do next is to just type "don't quit." So we have "don't." Then we'll go to the font area where we have want to use a gold bold. We have a go bold font. Then we increase the size just as this, and it's going to be here, as you can see. So we're going to increase the size a little bit, so which is going to be here. So after that, we use our relative position to position it. Then we send it to the back, as you can see it, right? Send it to the back. So what we're going to do next is to copy. So after copy it, we go back to the color, then click on plus sign and you move it towards the edge, the last one here. So after that, you see the color is fade, has disappeared. Go to the stroke and you change the color to white. Then the stroke should be 4 or 3 is okay. So you just make sure that it's not really size here. You understand? So you move it to one side so that it can be showing. Okay, fine. So now we have this at the end of the day. So let's look at it. If we make sure that everything really everything really fitting, so we have this particular result, as you can see. But I don't want it that way. I want to use it in my own way, so we can have this particular result, and we can make it even go up a little bit, just as this. So after we're able to achieve that, we can now go to proceed by going to the text area. So we have don't ever quit. So we go to the don't. We are done with don't ever. So which font can we use for that? I'm thinking of using Archivo. We use Archivo font. Sorry, Archivo. So let's use Archivo bold. So I believe this should go along with it. So we increase the size a bit. Don't ever quit. So this is cool, right? So we'll copy the same thing, then we have quit. Don't ever quit. Okay, so after that we position that here. So when we look at it, there is we need to reduce this a little bit, so that at least everything will be uniform and will rhyme. So we have this. Okay, perfect. Then there should be a breathing space if possible. And this is just my idea anyway. So you can see, right? So the next thing, don't ever, let me look at it this way. Don't ever try to quit. Don't ever try to quit. Very good. Because I want us to fold this particular area. So let's look at the size 61. You need to be creative. 61. Don't ever try to 61. So we look at it whether it can fit in. So I believe this can fit in anyway. Okay, if it started from here, perfect. It doesn't work. So what we can do next, don't try to quit. So there is one overlap here. So if we make it this way, just to accommodate everything, don't try to. So this will work here. I just want the thing to fail. So if it fails, it should be more professional than that. So don't try to. Let's look at the size of this. The size is 45. If we make this 45, because it must be uniform. Okay, this should be better. Okay, very good. It should be better. So I'm just going to adjust and give it a little. So let's make it this way. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to add in like 2 to this to make it 47. So which will make it to be around here. But I have a freedom, unlike the first one. Okay, now to do a professional work, you just turn on your grid and use it as a ruler, just as this. So after that, you can use it to see whether you really your work is really uniform. So we have this at the end of the day. Don't ever try to quit. Don't ever try to quit. Okay, very good. So the next thing that we are going to do at the end of the day, after making this. I'm thinking this should calm down a bit. Okay, don't ever try to quit. So there's not any serere there again anymore. The next thing we're going to do is to just applying a shadow to the one at the bottom, so which is the don't. So the one at the bottom, this one. So I'm going to the shadow right now, click on the shadow, then my blur radius should be like a 6 or 7. Enable the outer glow and offset to be 4 or 5. Then click on plus sign and move this towards the edge, just as this, to see whether it actually work. So your offset y, let it be 7 or 8. 7 or 8. 6. Okay, this is okay. So when you look at it, everything is cool, right? Okay, very good. So we have this. Then we can do the same thing to this. So we have the blur radius. This should be reduced. Outer glow, enable and offset to be 6. It's too much, right? So we can reduce the size. I think fall is okay. Blur radius should be reduced. Outer glow should be cancelled. Okay, perfect. So the same thing applicable to this, we can cancel the outer glow. Outer glow can be cancelled. So then we have our accurate result. So if it cancel, then we increase the blur radius if possible. Or let's use it and see. I think this is okay. Go here. Outer glow should be increased. Then offset should be reduced to something like 3. So we reduce the radius, reduce the opacity. Okay, perfect. So then we should be able to cram what is here, 2333, 2333. So we just go there without stressing ourselves. So we have this to be 2333. Okay, when we turn on this, okay, let's leave it. So now everything is actually cool. But when you look at it, that you see everything as scattered, you don't need to stress yourself. Go to auto recover and you recover your work. So if the last one doesn't work, you can choose switch to this. So we go here. So we look at it very well. If recover to save, let's look at the fourth one. If none of them work, let's look at 745. Which means everything has scattered, which we didn't know. So we can recover to save. Let's just do the first, this one, so that we can just adjust as we want. So what we need to do is to just mark these 3. Then don't try to quit. Don't try to quit. Should just be calming down all together, just as this. Depend on how you want it. So guess is okay like this. Okay, perfect. It's okay. So now we have this result. So we'll position this here. Okay, perfect. This should go in a little bit as well. So now we have everything at finger of our hands. So let's go back to our gallery and import. The first thing is to import our social media icon. So let me quickly select the logo we want to use to this. So Okay, they use the logo first, which should be around there. Okay, perfect. So after that, we go in there, go to download, bring in the social media website. So this should be changed, change to white. So after changing it, we position it at the bottom here. Just position it well, then you put in the right tab. So what I want to do is to just maintain the hierarchy and alignment. So we have the website icon here. Okay, perfect. So now the next thing we're going to do is to just copy from here. Then we'll have our social media, Diko dikographic.com.ng. No mistake. Sorry. Then we'll bring this here, but it needs to be reduced anyway. So we're going to reduce it 26. Then we space it. Okay, perfect. So now the next thing we're going to do is to just reduce the shadow if possible, reduce the blur as well, remove this. So after that, we go back to the download area where we're going to import our contact, the WhatsApp number. So which I'm going to reduce, remove this, the background. Then I will color it with white. Then reduce the size very well, reduce it very well. So go back to where you remove the background, the tolerance or the smooth. Okay, doesn't work. Reduce this. So we look at it very well. You can go back to where the color is, then you reapply the color. Okay, so after that, we position it here. Okay, then we'll put the WhatsApp number. So we have +234 7034 660781. So after that, just position this here. Don't worry, we have a way of finalizing everything. The space shouldn't be too much. Those are the mistakes, flimsy mistake that we do make. So after position and you are satisfied with the alignment and the arrangement, the next thing we are going to do is to just position and arrange it the way it should be. So what I'm going to do first is to just merge everything. Then I'm going to centralize. After centralizing it, I'm coming here, merge the three together, mark it, not merge. Then I'm going to bring it down, just bring it down a bit. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, we've come up with something. This is what they call triangle pop-off effects, which can they said it can only be achieved on the CorelDRAW or Photoshop. But right now you can see how I achieve this on the PixelLab. I believe what learn something useful. You can come up with any, even if it is a someone show a kind of appreciation, move out the two hands, you can put it in triangle pop-up effect like this. Thanks for watching. I believe we all learned something as I said. God bless you. We take a lot of time, more than going to 20 minutes. It's because of explanation and how I want you people to get it. Thank you. God bless you.